So I wanted to come on here and just talk about watching because even though I didn't go see it in person, I have had, experience going and seeing the World of Color. I guess you could say show, light show, water show, if you will, at Disneyland California Adventure. But that was basically over a decade ago. Yeah, about 11 and a half, well, going to be 11 years, I should say, more along the lines of 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. I went with my sisters and their families and friends, and, we saw, we went to Disneyland. It was my first time, which, of course, you can see, that video here on my YouTube channel, along with my various uploadings, up conversions and stuff of the World of Color at that time. And, like I said, I remember going there, and that was one of the things we saw, one of the last things we saw before, going our separate ways, because my second oldest sister, who we're going to be celebrating her birthday today for in Turlock, she had to leave because she had a wedding to attend, so she can only be there for a brief period, or at least a couple of days. And me and my older sister, we went and me and my older sister and her family, I should say, we went and stayed for a little longer. But anyway, to get to the point here, basically, I remember watching it, and to me, it was mind blowing. There's no doubt about it when I first saw it because of how they did it and everything, how they did it, and obviously they've improved, over time. I mean, basically it's still the same technique, but you can tell there's a lot more improvement. It's a lot more, I guess you could say, how do you put it, a little bit more clearer? And this is coming from somebody that saw it, saw the new one that just came out for the 100th anniversary, seeing it on YouTube and everything. And a lot of people, believe it or not, have recorded it. A lot of people have. And there are various ones I do recommend checking. One of them I'm going to provide here at the end screen of the video is from Inside Disney, and they did a spectacular job. I thought they probably captured it the best. And then there's another one. There's another one that somebody recorded in 4K, but also recorded at 60 frames per second, in HDR. I mean that right there is kind of surprising because I don't even know how to upload a video in HDR. I mean, this camera has HDR for picture taking, but when it comes to video, when it comes to recording videos, that's like another story in itself. And I don't even know if online-convert.com can make that happen. Maybe you guys know. You can let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, though, like I said, you can definitely tell that there's been a lot of improvement. And like I said, there are various people that have done recordings of it since the 100th anniversary edition of World of Color was released last month. And I'm going to tell you right now, from what I saw from Inside Disney, from the various recordings, including the HDR one, which, believe it or not, the HDR one seems a little bit more clearer in a sense. Of course, because it's being recorded not just in 4K and at 60 frames per second, but in high dynamic range. I have to say that basically overall that one and the Inside Disney one, are probably the best options to watch it on YouTube if you don't see it in person. And I'm going to say it right now. I thought they did for the 100th anniversary edition, for World of Color, because the 100 years of Walt Disney. I have to say that basically they did a tremendous job here. I mean, they incorporated a lot of things to go with the theme, because the theme of it is creativity. Like, it begins with run, and, by beginning with one, it will have a possible ripple effect, that goes beyond, I think anybody could imagine. And they really emphasize that here with what they display. I mean, of course, they have an introduction, talking about the history, or at least highlighting the history of Walt Disney and the legacy of they left behind and how it's grown since then. And then, of course, they have the one song that they developed, it only takes one or something like that, which is really beautiful. There's no doubt about that. And then they go from there to showing Pocahontas because, the scene that she has with Grandmother Willow kind of is an emphasis of creation. Like, it starts, with one person, but if one person is like a ripple, and it causes that ripple to grow, the various other ripples will come from it and grow from it. So they started with that, and then of course they had her sing, then they had the Colors of the Wind song, being played along with scenes from the movie and scenes from that moment in the movie when she's singing it. Then they moved from there to Encanto. Yes, they moved from that to Encanto, and the song, I think, "Waiting for a Miracle," by Maribel. They basically had that in highlights there from that movie. Then they went from Maribel, Encanto, if you will, to Coco, and the scene towards the end of the movie where I can't think of the character's name right now, but basically Coco, the grandmother of the main character in this, is her time's coming to an end, and as she's getting older, she's forgetting. She's forgetting a lot more, and thus she's forgetting, her father, which is, the great grandfather of our main character, I believe. Anyway, I know I say that a lot. Anyway, I know I say that word, but after that, I think they went to Soul. They talked about Soul. They showed highlights from Soul and everything, and then I think. No, wait a minute. It was no. What it was Encanto, Soul, then Coco. That's what it was. It was, all that. It was all that, and then I think they did Moana. They did Moana next, and then after Moana, they did Star Wars, which everybody clapped for. Then they did. From Star Wars, they went to Lion King, and then I think they went to Mulan, and then after Mulan, they went to Marvel, and I think that's how they ended it in that fashion. Oh, yeah, they also had Ratatouille. They had Ratatouille as well. Ratatouille actually, now I think about it, Ratatouille actually came after Encanto. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it was Pocahontas, Encanto, Ratatouille, Soul, Coco. Then they did Moana. Then they did Star Wars. Then after Star Wars, they did Lion King. And they did Lion King and all that. And there was the scene where Simba meets Rafiki. Then he, sees his father. His father's talking to him from the heavens and everything. So they had that. And then from Lion King, like I said, they went to Mulan. And then from Mulan, they went to Marvel, and I think that's how they ended it with the song, once more. And honestly, like I said earlier, you could definitely tell that they've improved over time with this. They've improved in a huge way with this. That looking back on it now, I could have only imagined how much better they were going to get. I mean, yeah, throughout the past decade, they have improved in various ways by not only taking out certain clips and stuff and adding in new ones to take their place, like they did for the Winter Dream theme, and putting some Frozen in there and all that, at various times. But you could definitely tell they've come a long way, and they're only going to get better. And all I can say is that if I do get a chance to see this in person someday, maybe this year, who knows, I am definitely going to be not only filming it, but maybe even live streaming it when it happens. And hopefully maybe I have a GoPro camera at that time that can film in 4K for a longer amount of time than the original did. Or at least film in a way that gives me HDR recording to go with maybe, let's say, a 1440 or 1080p recording. But in general, though, I liked what I saw. Really was great. Again, I'm probably going to put, not probably going to, but more likely going to put the video from Inside Disney and then the one that's recorded in 4K at 60 frames per second in HDR. I'll put those, here at the end screen so you guys can check those out. I think you would thoroughly enjoy them. I told a couple of ladies that, we're going on a Disney binge yesterday for, I think, the grandson's birthday. They recently went to Disneyland, I think, back in December for Christmas, it sounded like. And I told them, yeah, this new one, you got to check it out. They just put it out. It looks real good. Check it out on YouTube. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. We'll check that. We'll look at that. Because what they had bought was a couple of Encanto dolls, the same kind of dolls that we got for my great niece and for Christmas. And they got Mickey's Funhouse, a pirate ship for Mickey's Funhouse or Playhouse. And then they got something for his Road Racer one. So, they spoiled this kid. There's no doubt for his birthday. But anyway, though, like I said, I told them that, and they were thrilled. They were like, oh, okay, we'll check that out. So anyway, I highly recommend checking it out yourself if you can't get to Disneyland right now. I guarantee you, people around Anaheim that live close by to Disneyland, they can afford to go, at least, on the weekend, probably just, staying there. Here's the thing. I think some people that live close by not only go there for the weekend, but, they go home afterwards and they think, okay, do you want to go back again on Sunday or next weekend? Or if they have a 3-day weekend, they're thinking, hey, you want to go back tomorrow and we'll do it again, if they could do it. I'm pretty sure one of the reasons is the World of Color, that they want to go see again because of how good it is. And like I said, how vastly improved it's become, throughout its history. But anyway, though, I just wanted to come on here and let you know about that, give you my thoughts on the new 100th anniversary edition. Let me know if you guys have seen it yet in person, not just, via YouTube or wherever. But let me know if you've seen it already. In person and everything. And again, like I said, not by YouTube or anything. But let me know overall in general, either way, what your thoughts of it are. How did you feel about it? Do you like the changes? Do you like, what they utilize to kind of go with the theme of, how things start with just one, person? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you all later. I got to get myself ready. To go out to celebrate my sister's birthday. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.